The Windsor royal family, still concerned about the latest insult to Queen Harry and Meghan revealed this time last year, knows their matriarch won't be in the world for long. So why didn't the Sussexes make a final visit when the royal family gathered in Balma for the first time since the death of Her Majesty the late Queen? Here's a good question about the Sussexes and a hot return to Princess Diana news. I think it's safe to say that King Charles is the only person in the world whose summer vacation starts with a pony show. Technically, though, everything can be reversed in this royal age. This week was a milestone. His Majesty received his first official reception from the Royal Regiment. He got his start at Balmoral, which meant he was a poor guy who had to get the regimental badge and make sure the pony symbol was perfect for his annual media moment. So this year's grand tour began as the royal family began their responsibilities and everyone gathered in the far north. While these holidays will have their moments of joy, they will also be full of emotions. It will be HRH's first meeting since Her Majesty's passing last year, and possibly a few glasses of whiskey too. Let's go back to those final weeks, that final holiday of the late Queen's, because there is one little detail that we need to discuss again, that Harry and Meghan and their two suspicious children Lilibet didn't come to visit from October of 2021 when Buckingham Palace began cancelling the late Queen's events, and she secretly even spent there had been worries about her health last year. Friend of Queen Camilla and broadcaster Giles Brandreth revealed that at some point in her final years, the late Queen was diagnosed with a form of bone marrow cancer, and so she always knew that her remaining time was limited. So this means that this time last year, the House of Windsor knew that the Queen was not going to be around for long. Now, were they feeling some feelings? Absolutely. The question here is, though, considering this information about Her late Majesty's failing health, why didn't Harry and Meghan show up to visit her in Scotland? Because supposedly they had so much respect for the late Queen that they named their little girl after her. The decision undoubtedly sparked controversy and led to letters from some lawyers crisscrossing London. There has been much controversy over whether the measure was approved by the late Her Majesty the Queen. However, we think that by this gesture we mean that even if they move to California to share their truth and make vegan lattes for themselves and not care about the folks at Buckingham Palace, they still want to ask your beloved pay tribute. The Queen, when they were interviewed by Oprah Winfrey, Harry said to Oprah, "I have a lot of respect for her, she's my commander-in-chief, isn't she? She's always going to be okay." Well, against the backdrop of solid affection and all this respect, there's still awkwardness. Why didn't they show up for the spiritual retreat? Why didn't they bring the two youngest granddaughters of the fairy princess? Because it's not like they've been far away. Meghan and Harry already traveled to the UK at the end of May, taking Archie and Lily with them when they returned to the Queen's Platinum Anniversary celebrations. They even brought their own high chair on the private jet. If the Daily Mail's reporting on Meghan and Harry is to be believed, a quick international trip is certainly possible. They've also booked 30 European tours for the summer, which means they'll be very close to Queen's Lake. Then again, why couldn't they see her when Royal Mirror editor Russell Myers said Prince Charles actually invited them to spend a day or two with her in mourning with the Queen? But now they say no, and will miss out on the Queen, which, to be honest, is pretty sad. It's also important to remember that, based on what we know today, Montecito didn't have a great relationship with London last summer. Thanks to the book, Harry Tells All, he and his brother William had a total falling out. Things weren't as bad as they are today. At the time, the royal family and the world were still unaware that Harry and Meghan would be unleashing countless bombshells in a 6-part documentary and spare part series. Not only is everything not as broken as it is today, but let's consider the logistics. It didn't look like a 4-bedroom cottage rented to share a bathroom. The main house is now said to have 52 bedrooms, and there are who knows how many cottages on the property, with Prince Andrew currently living in the residence. I'm sure he'll be fine with 7 bedrooms and a private elevator. What I am saying is this: if Harry and Meghan really wanted to spend some time with Harry's grandmother, they could have gone, and it was nowhere near William and Catherine's. The Prince and Princess of Wales. The late Queen was at Balmoral with various family members, including the Welsh family, from August 8 until her death exactly a month later. visiting only briefly. So that means there could have certainly been a way for Meghan and Harry to avoid the Wales and vice versa. The point I'm trying to make is the timing and the accommodation situation have been completely if Meghan and Harry really wanted to visit. Let's think about too that even until she passed away, the late Queen was reportedly forever optimistic that the relationship between the royal family and Meghan and Harry could be repaired. Earlier this month, a close figure told the Daily Mail's Richard Kay that Her Majesty never stopped hoping there would be some kind of reconciliation and that the couple would return to the fold one day. I mean, even now, after everything we have seen gone down in the last year, Harry an open invitation to join family gatherings hasn't exactly been rescinded, and that, according to the Mail's royal editor Rebecca English, although she also goes on to say, it is certainly not expected to be accepted, and we're not trying to claim that Harry wasn't devoted to his grandmother. But one thing I've never really understood is why they couldn't wait to sit down with Oprah. Why couldn't Harry wait a little longer to write this note? And why couldn't they wait until after the Queen's death to film the series to complain about the family's horror? So the Spartan and global event Harry and Meghan may not have announced last year, but the agreements were announced earlier this year. Friends of the late Her Majesty spoke to the Telegraph, and one of them revealed that Meghan and Harry's repeated criticism of the royal family had affected the Queen's health during her senior year. As a friend explained, she lost Prince Philip, and then the constant ambush of the royal family took its toll on the beloved grandson. The newspaper also reported that another well-informed source had no doubts that the Sussexes' claims had had an impact on the late Queen's health. So, here's the funniest thing: what if Harry and Meghan went to Balmoral? Will everything still be like this? The Times reported earlier this year that Harry wanted to stop publishing a replacement book after a family source connected to the book told the paper. The book is completely ready for publication, but he is visiting my grandmother. He revisited it shortly after Harry's last visit to London. The boss came in and said he did it. He does not want to do this. In the end, Harry obviously changed his mind again, but imagine if the book had been cancelled because things were completely broken at this point. Between Harry and Charles and William, and what is the biggest disappointment in this whole mess? And Harry and Meghan don't accept it. What was the last chance to stay at Balmoral? Well, that means the world is denied. Archie and Lily were always seen sitting on Shetland ponies and learning to ride them. After all, this is the royal family we're talking about. It always comes back to the horses and you. What do you think about this problem? Please let me know what you think in the comments below. If you find my video helpful, don't be afraid to share it with your friends and family who need it. Whenever you want but don't want to be Princess Diana's news channel, you can get more interesting videos from our team. Thank you very much for watching. Bye. We will answer you in the next video.